Welcome to Milan Recording Studios. My name is James Pavel Shakras, and in today's video I wanted to kind of do an announcement about my channel and talk about the direction that it's going to be heading in the next few months, and also talk about some of the cool things that have happened in the recent past of my channel. One of the big points though that I want to drive home with this video is a massive thank you to all of my loyal subscribers and followers. I see so many of you on the regular commenting on each and every single video I post, and I find that absolutely amazing, and thank you so very much for subscribing and continuing to be a loyal follower. It means so much to me, and it's absolutely amazing to watch my channel grow and grow, especially within the last couple of years. It's absolutely been mind-boggling how much my channel has just suddenly started to explode into new growth. It's been absolutely amazing. I wanted to thank all of you who are subscribed to me. Thank you very much. If anyone who is not subscribing to me is watching this, you might want to think about subscribing if you want to. I have lots of cool videos of pianos, organs, digital pianos, and other cool musical instruments on my channel. If that sounds like a cup of tea, you might want to think about subscribing, and if you do, thank you very much. One of the things that I recently did on my channel was go to the 2020 NAMM show, and while I've already posted a bunch of videos of the NAMM show, there's still a bunch more to go. So if that sounds cool, definitely stay tuned for that as well. I did a lot of cool things at the NAMM show, met a lot of cool people, and also received a lot of cool physical things, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But another thing I wanted to say is, again, thank you to all of my followers who came up to me at the NAMM show and said hi. It was wonderful meeting so many of you, and I met some people that I had no idea actually followed me. One of them actually was Daniel Thrasher. He came up to me in the Yamaha booth at the show, and I didn't even recognize him out of context, but obviously after watching back the video, of course, I did recognize it was him. Absolutely amazing. If you're unfamiliar with him, he's got a YouTube channel much larger than mine, and he kind of posts these funny little skits and little bits about piano. It's kind of fun. And so he came up to me at the NAMM show, which was absolutely amazing. Somebody else who was very famous, who I didn't even know followed me, was Tom Brislin of the bands Yes and Kansas. When I was at the Fazioli booth, he happens to be there and came up to me, said hi, and wanted to take a picture with me, which was absolutely amazing. I, of course, also wanted to take a picture with him, and so that is the picture you are seeing or just saw on screen right now. Absolutely amazing, really great guy, and I was glad to meet him. Another great guy I got to meet at the Fazioli booth was Luca Fazioli, of course, from the Fazioli Piano Factory. He is the son of Paolo Fazioli, hopefully I'm pronouncing his first name right, the original founder of the Fazioli Piano Company. Both Mr. Fazioli and Luca Fazioli are incredible people to talk to. They have so much knowledge, and both of them are extremely kind, wonderful people to talk to. It's kind of an honor that Luca would come up and shake my hand and greet me at the Fazioli booth. Absolutely amazing. There were so many other great people that I met, amazing people from Yamaha and amazing people from many other piano companies as well. It was so wonderful to meet all of my followers and also to make new connections with great musical piano companies. One such piano company I was able to make new connections with at the 2020 NAMM show is C. Bechstein. C. Bechstein is a German piano company that many people aren't actually too familiar with here in the United States. But they make phenomenal pianos, and one of the pianos they had at the show was a concert line of pianos. I think it was the A192. It's handcrafted in Germany, and it was an absolutely amazing piano, and it sounds better on recording than it did at the show, which is absolutely amazing, and I knew at the show it was good, and it's just mind-boggling how good it sounds. I will have a video of that coming out in the future, like an independent review of it, and also kind of a cool comparison between it and another piano that I found at the show, so I'll kind of analyze what makes the C. Bechstein sound so good, what makes this other piano sound not as good, and kind of the difference between what lies in the soul of a piano. I had actually already intended on making a video like that, and then people commented on the other piano that I already posted saying it had no soul, which was my thought as well on listening back to the recording. Inside this bag we have more goodies, but actually the first thing I wanted to talk about was this, which is pretty freaking cool. This is a gold-plated key from Fazioli, and Luca Fazioli actually personally handed this to me at the show. If you bought a Fazioli piano, this is one of many other things that would come in a fancy wooden box along with your piano. So if you bought a Fazioli, this would come with the piano, a key just like this, and Mr. Fazioli just handed one of these to me at the show, which was absolutely fantastic. I will cherish this forever. It's a really nice gift. Inside of this bag, too, I have other cool little goodies as well. I think this first one here is from Steingraber, who I got to visit at the show. This is a DVD that says Piano Testing and Tasting. Wonder what pianos taste like. And then it also says Manufactory Tour. So that's kind of cool. Perhaps if I stumble across a DVD player or just pop it in the computer, I guess, I can check that out. This little booklet here is not terribly interesting, but it's just a little booklet of a little Chinese piano company that makes benches, and they specialize in making benches, and I'm actually sitting on one of their benches right now. This is one of the little trinkets I got at the show. Not only did I get this, but I also got a physical piano bench, and I'm sitting on it right now. The price is super cheap, but the build quality and appearance does not actually give that away. I mentioned that and did a whole review of that in another video. Kind of cool. Now this here is from Meyer. This is the European rebuilding company that I think I mentioned earlier in the video. And what they specialize in is taking antique pianos, most usually Steinways, but they also do Bösendorfers and C. Bechsteins. And what they do is they take these antique pianos that probably originally were in very bad condition when they first received them and turn them into beautiful works of art. They do a couple of different styles here. One of their specialties is this onyx, which you probably can't see here, but I've done a couple of reviews of their onyx pianos. They'll take a antique Steinway and give it a modern appearance, but they will always keep the original soundboard, which is, again, another thing that is very important to the soul of a piano. They've created incredible art case designs like this, which hopefully you can see, and this is just a whole book of all the different things that they've done, and it's kind of amazing to think that this is an antique piano. Looks brand new, but it's an antique piano that they've restored. So this is a whole book full of their beautiful restoration jobs, and they're all really amazing. I've played a number of different Meyer rebuilds, and I haven't found one that I didn't like. And rebuilding pianos is not easy. There's so many little variables that go into making them good, but Meyer seems to get it right every single time. Let's see what else is in here real quick. Oh, this is really cool. After the NAMM show, I actually got to go see these guys at concert, which was absolutely wonderful. Yamaha hooked me up with a couple of passes to go see the piano guys in concert, which was really wonderful. Of course, they have a big YouTube presence as well, but it was really cool to see them live in concert there. That was a lot of fun. Thank you very much, Yamaha, for that. Also, in this bag is a cool booklet from Steingraber. I got to talk with them at the NAMM show, which was really fun. So this is a little booklet talking about all the different pianos they make. Let me see. This is a fold-out page, isn't it? Or not? I think there's a fold-out page that may or may not have a big picture of piano. No, it doesn't have a big picture of a piano, but these are a bunch of art case woods you can get Steingrabers in, which is kind of wild. It's like a rainbow of woods. So if you have enough money, you can go to Steingraber and say, "Hi, I want a piano in this particular wood grain," and they'll be like, "Sure, let's do it." So that's pretty cool. So they've done a bunch of unusual art case designs like this. They've done things like that, which is kind of odd. They didn't have that at the show, of course. That was a one-off build, but this is kind of neat just to have a booklet of all the different Steingraber pianos. That's kind of neat. What else do we have in here? Hopefully you guys are finding this interesting, but these are my little treasures from the NAMM show. These are a couple of Fazioli booklets. We've got this one here, and then this little smaller one here. This one here, of course, talks about all the different models of pianos. Here's the F278. They had one of these at the NAMM show, and then I've also been able to play in the past an F308. So kind of cool booklet, very high quality feeling. Of course, Fazioli does everything very, very well. In the back here, kind of a neat little bit of trivia. They talk about the different woods you can get Fazioli pianos, Fazioli veneers in, and this one here is called Poplar Briar. So this is the wood that they actually use on the inside rim of the pianos, and I've always wondered what it's called, but now you know, it's called Poplar Briar. So that's that, and I think I have one more Fazioli related item in my bag as well, and that would be, not terribly exciting, but it is a Fazioli bag. So I had a bag within a bag, and that is, I think, everything in my bag from C. Bechstein, containing all the things that I got at NAMM. So I got the bench I'm sitting on, and then all those other cool little things, which is awesome. So again, huge thank you to all the people who came up to me and said hi at the NAMM. Huge thank you to all of the wonderful piano companies that were very welcoming and very accommodating at the NAMM show. And thanks to many of these piano companies, I may have some things coming up in the future. One of the things that may be coming up in the spring of 2020 is that I will be actually, hopefully, traveling to Canada. All of this is still up in the air and in the works, so it's possible some of it may get canceled or put off for a later time. But I'm working on traveling up to Canada. I'm going to be visiting a piano company that I believe is on the West Coast called Showcase Pianos. I called them a piano company. They're actually a piano store, but one of the biggest and highest end piano stores, certainly in North America, probably in the world. And what they do a lot of different things. They're a Fazioli dealer, and I believe they have a few other high-class brands as well. But one of the things that the owner does is he's actually affiliated with a number of different architects in the area. So when a massive fancy skyscraper or a beautiful high-end hotel is going up and the architect is designing the building itself, what he will also do is design a custom piano to go in the lobby of this hotel or giant office building. What happens then is Fazioli will build the piano and build the art case for it as well based on the architect's design. As far as I know, the inside of the piano and the guts of it are a stock Fazioli, but the outside case is truly one of a kind and incredibly, incredibly special. The owner of Showcase Pianos has actually reached out to me and invited me up to his place, and apparently will be giving me a tour of many of these different special pianos, inviting me into these fancy hotels and office buildings to hopefully do videos of these one of a kind, probably $1 million plus Faziolis. So that is absolutely, absolutely amazing, and if that happens, I'm going to be super stoked, and I can guarantee you that there will be videos of that on my channel if I'm allowed to do that. Another cool thing that is going to be happening is I'm going to be traveling up to the east coast of Canada to visit a really cool piano school. I met the owner of this school and piano store at the NAMM show as well when I was at the C. Bechstein booth, and he is a Bechstein dealer, and one of the many cool things he will have there is a C. Bechstein Concert Grand. Now, I loved the concert series Bechstein that was at the NAMM show, and I can only imagine how good a Concert Grand C. Bechstein must be. It must be absolutely phenomenal. So hopefully I will be getting to see that as well sometime in 2020. That's on the east coast of Canada, and that will be amazing. And he's got this massive school with, I think, like 3,000 students, I think it is. A really, really big production over there. And he's got like a whole music studio and the school and the piano store. It's really cool. So that will be happening as well. Something else even bigger that is planned for sometime in the future, hopefully in 2020, but perhaps later than that, is traveling to Europe. This is something that so many of you guys have wanted me to do, but it's such a big project and there's so much to see over there that it would be very difficult to do it all in one trip, and it really can't happen in one trip. But some of the things that I'm planning on seeing in Europe, at least in the first trip, are going to be the companies of C. Bechstein, W. Hoffman, the Meyer Rebuilding Company, and also possibly Steingraber. We'll see if we can fit Blutner in there as well, because I was talking to Dr. Christian Blutner at the NAMM show, and he seemed inviting and welcomed me to come to the factory as well. But it's mostly a time crunch of how many things I can fit into one short trip, rather than, oh, I don't want to go here. It's really like, how much can I fit? And I'll be very, very busy. So I will do as much as I can, and many of the piano companies that I'm not able to visit in the first trip, hopefully I'll make another trip sometime later to visit some of the other companies like Fazioli. They have welcomed me to the factory, but I'll be visiting Germany for the first trip, and Italy is kind of far away from that, so that might not happen in this first trip. Literally about 10 minutes before filming this video, I was actually contacted by Estonia through my YouTube channel, and they also welcomed me to come visit their factory, of course, in the country of Estonia. So that would be really cool as well. I'm totally down to go do that, but it probably won't happen in the first trip I make, probably because there will probably be a time crunch. However, I would love to go do that, and I just think that would be absolutely amazing. So I'll be visiting some absolutely world-class piano factories in this trip, and I'm super, super happy for it. I know many of you guys have welcomed me to come to England and come do videos of pianos there and come to so many other cool European countries, and I would love to do that, but again, there's only so much I can do in one trip. So if I miss out something, if I exclude a piano company that wanted me to come film at their place, I apologize in advance, but I will be very, very busy. I believe that's about everything that I wanted to talk about, although before I go, I do want to mention that part of the reason I'm doing this trip is not only because have people invited me to their factories, but also I'm kind of pondering the idea of looking into upgrading my studio piano. At the moment, I have a Steinway D, and while it is very nice, there are always better options available. So one thing I will be doing on the trip to Germany and also to Canada is pondering the idea of at least searching for a brand of piano that I would want to have here at the studio. I probably won't be able to select one and actually replace it that soon as mid-2020, but it will be in the works, and I believe in the next couple of years you will be seeing me sitting at a different piano. So I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, a little bit of an update to the things that will be happening with my channel. I foresee continuing to do all the same types of videos that I typically do, piano reviews, digital piano reviews, and other cool things, but I'm always working on expanding what I do as well, so you might see some new styles of videos come into play as well. It'll all still be in the music fields, don't worry, I'm not branching out into something crazy that's completely different. It'll always be music and typically a keyboard instrument related, but if I ever meet like a cool saxophonist, I'd totally be down to do a video talking about the saxophone and why it's neat. So I think that would be kind of a cool type of video to do as well. So I'm always going to be looking into branching out and trying other types of music-related content. And I've also got all kinds of other cool stuff planned in the future as well. So if any of that sounds cool, again, you might want to think about subscribing. If you do, thank you very much. And again, huge thank you to all of you who already are subscribed. I know many of you have been following me for years and years, which is unbelievable, absolutely wild, and just major thank you to all of you. You all know who you are. Thank you so very much, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.